right, welcome back to the Dose Leprechauns podcast. This is season 10, episode 12, and this is kind of the non-off-season episode of Dose Leprechauns, the rare December episode where we're not talking about which bowl game we're going to get. We're talking about which playoff game and which team is our next victim. How are you feeling about, these next 2 weeks off of no Notre Dame football?
Well, I'm going to be sad because there's no Notre Dame, but the excitement is palpable. The excitement level, the energy amongst the fan base, the energy amongst the team is, you can feel it. There's a sense of hope that I haven't felt in probably 20-something years. So I really like our chances against pretty much anybody that's in the playoffs other than Oregon, which we wouldn't play till the end. Wouldn't feel super great about Texas either. We got our guest already on. Awesome. So we're going to get back to kind of talking about the playoffs, the recruiting class, things of that nature of this show. But we do want to bring on our guest. We'll bring him onto the show. We're going to be interviewing Cam Herron, one of the 2025 recruits that signed on National Signing Day this week. He is a 6'2", 275-pound interior offensive lineman, the number 6 player in the state of Indiana, the number 19 nationwide interior offensive lineman in the country. So with that, we're going to bring Cam onto the show. Cam, thanks for joining us today, man.
Thank you. It was blessed to be here, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So how's it feel, man? You finally made it official. I know there was a long process, and you had a lot of great options to go to a lot of great schools, but eventually you chose Notre Dame. And so how's it feel, man? What are you thinking right now?
Man, it feels great. Never in a million years did I think I would be in this position. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was definitely rough. So they said that I'm probably like the kid that like worked for it the most. Like I would say that this process that I've been through is definitely not the easiest, but it worked out for me in the end run. So yeah.
Awesome. So with the schools that you had to choose from, was there one particular thing about Notre Dame, a group of things about Notre Dame that just you decided this is where I need to be?
Yeah, so I was originally committed to Iowa. Notre Dame was talking to me really, we were texting a lot, talking a lot. They recruited me heavily, and it was just that they didn't have the spot for an offer yet, and so I ended up going to the last week of OVs, and ended up committing to Iowa. And then went throughout my senior season, and I had really good film. They loved it. They really just, it was really just them like looking at who they needed and the offers they needed to give out. And at the end of the day, it came down to they did want to offer me. And Coach Rudy, Coach Rudolph, the O-line coach, he's loved me from the start. He's been pushing to throw the offer. He's been pushing Coach Freeman for forever to throw the offer. And when he finally threw the offer, Coach, it was just all pedal to the metal. They were texting me a whole bunch, trying to get me on campus. End up taking an OV, and then end up committing there on the OV. And it was just, it was good from there. Yes, sir.
So with you being from Indiana, it seems like lately Notre Dame's done a really great job of recruiting, quote unquote, from their backyard. Are there some guys in this class that just signed today, or maybe some guys that are already on the roster right now that you've competed against or played with that you're really looking forward to now becoming teammates with?
Yeah, one of our rivals, so our rivalry school is Ben Davis, me going to Warren Central, and Mark Zachary is from Ben Davis, the DB, and that rivalry it's like I think it was our 100th year rivalry game. The game that we played, so it's been going on for forever. Real deep rivalry, and now to play with him, it's a different feeling. It's kind of like we've been rivals, past 4 years, and now we're playing together. So now it's cool. I've been talking to him a whole bunch. I talked to him before I committed to the school, and really just trying to build a bond with him, and it's been nice. Yeah, it's been really nice.
It really seems one thing that I really noticed about this class is there was no wavering. There was no, hey, who's gonna sign? Are they gonna go here? Are they gonna go there? It kind of seemed like this group really knew that they were locked in. Are you guys already communicating with each other and kind of saying, hey, this is our opportunity with the players that are already there to really bring that national championship back to Notre Dame?
Yeah, definitely. Right now, we're really just all locked in and we're ready. I would say that right now with this playoff run we're about to have, and I feel really heavily about this playoff run. I feel like we're all just ready to jump in the mix. We're supposed to go. I know first day is I think January 11th. we're just all ready to, jump into the mix and kind of just, start practicing with everybody, start, hit the ground running really. And I feel like that definitely motivate us just a little bit more,
Yeah, no, for sure. Do you think any of the guys will be able to get out to the playoff game, the home playoff game in a couple weeks?
Yeah, I know I will for sure be me. I'm bringing a lot of my family. What we're trying to do is make sure everybody gets there, with tickets and wise. We're trying to make sure everybody can make it to that game. So hopefully it's going to be a good turnout.
Yeah, just if you could talk a little bit more about campus, what's your favorite spot on campus?
My favorite spot was definitely the chapel. The chapel, when I first seen it, walked in those doors, it was just, like eyes open. The chapel is just, it's really just a thing you have to see in person to believe it. It's amazing. I mean, everything about it, the inside is crazy and the outside is even crazy. Like the outside is crazy, but if you go into the inside of it, it's like, it's wild. Just like looking at everything and seeing everything. It's just, it's nice. I would say that's probably my favorite spot so far. Yeah, I would say that's probably my favorite spot. Sorry.
And then is there any team, on the future Notre Dame schedule that you're looking forward to play more than usual? Maybe a USC, maybe a Michigan, maybe a Miami, any team that you've seen on the schedule in the next few years?
Definitely USC. Definitely ready to play USC. That's probably one of the softer games I'm looking forward to, with them being the rival. I always want to play a rival school. It's always a little bit more intensity. I like that intensity. So I'm definitely ready to play USC and also Miami. When I see we picked up Miami, that kind of, that made me really happy. I definitely want to play Miami, the Hurricanes, with their history and their background. One of my favorite players is Ray Lewis, with them going there, the history and background behind that. I'm ready to play them.
So yeah, and Miami is going to be right out of the chute next year in 2025. So, and it's at Miami, so that's going to be a pretty cool environment to get you acclimated to what big D1 college football is all about. So you mentioned Coach Rudolph. Have you guys had any discussions at this point thus far in terms of, hey, we're going to keep you at interior, we might move you outside, or is it looking like full steam ahead? You're playing it inside.
Yeah. So he told me basically center. Mostly center. That's like my prime position, but he's gonna teach me left guard and right guard. It just kind of comes with playing interior. You have to know how to play both. But he said mainly center is just like my main position. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. That's good. Yeah, I think that's one of the great things about this group right now. I think that he's been able to make them so versatile. A lot of guys moving from guard to center to guard to tackle in some cases. So I think that Coach Rudolph is, obviously he's replacing a legend, but he's come in and I think done just an outstanding job with that group. We've got a question from the audience here. Patrick McCormick, ask him what he thinks of the nutrition training table. Seems like those linemen will be eating right.
Oh yeah. The food that I would be eating there is it's crazy. Just on my OV, just like the food that I got, it's a lot. It's a lot of good food. I don't know if you guys know about the victory meal. They sent us a video after every game. They have like lobster and steak. It's like a buffet of like lobster and steak and just different like fruits and stuff. Just after winning a game, it's just like it's really crazy. It's unbelievable that the food that they get is like crab legs. It was really crazy.
That's awesome.
I'm definitely looking forward to the victory meals after winning the games. Yeah.
Hopefully a lot of them, man.
Sure.
So are you going to be an early enrollee?
Yeah. So first day would be January 11th. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you'll be able to get in, work out with the team. Are you going to be taking any classes, or are you literally just going to be working out with the team, getting ready for spring ball?
So no, yeah, I'll be starting second semester. Yeah, for a second semester classes. Yep.
Awesome. Do you happen to know of any other guys that are early enrollees? We haven't heard a whole lot about that, so I'm just curious.
I did see a list on Twitter. I know for sure out of the O-line room, Maddie is and Owen is.
Okay.
So me, Maddie, and Owen, we all will be. Will is not. I know that's for sure for O-line wise. Other than that, I can't for sure say who is, but I'm sure that I think there's a list I seen on Twitter if I can look at it later.
Okay, yeah, we'll try to find that for sure. Yeah. Matt, and talking about this O-line, I mean, this year you've got some young guys. Well, one young guy in particular, excuse me, that really had an opportunity to play right away and start right away in College Station, and that's Anthony Knapp. Do you guys? I mean, looking at this group, I mean, you mentioned Will Black, yourself. Do you think that we could potentially see maybe as many as 2 freshman offensive linemen starting next year for the Irish?
Yeah, Coach Rudy, he definitely plays the best players. Like, he's different from all the other coaches. He doesn't play, just because you're a senior or, you played 3 years or, it's really just he plays who the best players are and, who can basically have the best outcome for Notre Dame. He doesn't play no favoritism, stuff like that. It's more of just who will basically play the best, and I love that. I love that about Coach Rudy. So I would say that it's possible, definitely. Yeah.
That's absolutely been the mentality, I think, since Coach Freeman arrived. There was a big knock on Coach Kelly that he wouldn't play young guys. He had to, he felt like they were too mistake prone and all that kind of stuff. And now you see freshmen starting all over the place. Both the corners are freshmen. Anthony Knapp's a freshman. The list goes on, and it's been awesome to see because they've blossomed. And I think this group in particular, especially Anthony Knapp, he's got that dog, man. And I think that's what I love to see is like playing that O-line position. You don't have to be the biggest guy, but you got to be the toughest guy. And this group that I see coming in with you and Will and some of the other guys, that's what I see on your tape is obviously technique, size, all that, but you guys play with a chip on your shoulder, and that's what you need at that position.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So tell the community here, what makes you a unique player? What makes you somebody that's gonna be somebody that will be heard about for years for the Irish and on and beyond in the NFL?
Yeah, I would say my style of play is a little bit different. A lot of people say I play like a jerk almost. I play with a lot of intensity. I play with a lot of toughness. I would say that my style of play is really just to hit you and just, I don't want to say hurt you, but really just put you on your back. Like I'm just really just the player just to try to really just like I go overboard with it a little bit. I'm gonna say I'm a player that just want to make sure that I'm seen out there. Like I'm gonna put you on your back, and I might do a little something in front of you. It's almost like I play with a little chip, like you said, chip on my shoulder, and I play with that intensity, like almost like a jerk. So I would say that's my type of play style almost. Yeah.
Love it. All right, last thing we like to do with all the players that we have come on is just kind of give you an opportunity to let people know where they can follow you, where they can find more out about you, what you got going on, any appearances, anything like that. So please feel free to let the folks know where they can get you at.
Okay, yeah. So Instagram is shocktheworld_Cam. There's no spaces in that. And I think Twitter, my ex is Cameron. I'm pretty sure it's Cam. Ooh, I forget the Twitter.
Well, we can list it too for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And then other than that, I think that so I got it right here. It's Cameron Herron 54. And other than that, I think I have a TikTok page. My TikTok page is shocktheworld_Cam, no spaces. And that's basically all my social medias right now. Yeah.
Love it. All right, Cam. Well, hey, I know you're a busy guy. You got a lot going on. Got to get ready for South Bend winter and the playoff game. We really appreciate you jumping on today, and we wish you all the luck. And we really, truly can't wait to see you play in that gold helmet, bud.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. You have a great day, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Yes, sir. Go Irish.
Go Irish. All right. So that was big Cameron Herron. He is a 4-star interior offensive lineman. You mentioned he plays center. I mentioned before he's about 6'2.5", 275. He's the 268th nationally ranked player, 19th at his position, and in the state of Indiana, he's the 6th ranked player. A lot of people saying that he's the best lineman to come out of Indiana, which obviously is high praise because they put out a lot of great linemen. Before we had Cam on, we were going to start talking about recruiting. And I know there's a lot of naysayers out there about the class. First of all, I want to say hi in the chat to Ken Murphy, our buddy. Hope you're feeling better, bud. I know he's under the weather a little bit. Patrick McCormick left a comment here. Fine tradition of Irish offensive linemen who are nicest guys in the world off the field, but nasty when snap goes off. That's kind of Cam in a nutshell. Cam, Quentin Nelson, some of those guys that are just big, giant teddy bears off the field, but on the field, they're mauler, beasts that want to, do some damage to you. If you're on that field, you got to protect yourself. And if not, well, suffer the consequences. Anyways, we want to talk a little bit about the recruiting class. A lot of naysayers saying, it's not the best class. We didn't get the key targets we needed, things of that nature. You're never going to get all the recruits that you want. I think that obviously with the NIL and some of those types of things, the transfer portal, that whole game has changed. In our opinion, though, we do like the class. I think it's good. I wouldn't say it's elite, but it's good, and I think it fills the right holes. It's the 11th ranked class in the country. I want to talk about some of the guys that we're the most excited about. Obviously, the two big ones, in my opinion, we did have another 5-star this class in Will Black from Wallingford, Connecticut. He is a ginormous offensive tackle. He's 6'7.5", 283 pounds. He's only going to get bigger and put on more weight. He is an absolute freak. You might have seen the video that we had posted. He actually he lined up at tight end, caught a touchdown pass, and it looked like very graceful to where you're like, man, this guy, maybe he could play tight end. But no, he's definitely going to be a tackle, and I think he's going to be an absolutely dominant tackle when he gets to Notre Dame. The one surprise, I would say, of the class, a lot of people had kind of counted this young man out and that he was going to go to USC because he is from Southern California, attends J. Sarek High School in SoCal, is Madden Frimo. Just an absolute – he looks like a grown man already. You know, his build, he's 6'2", 225, fast, plays with an absolute edge. We really love what we see from that kid. He's obviously a linebacker. The linebacker room of the future at Notre Dame is absolutely insane. You're going to have Drake Bowen anchoring things down, who has just come on so strong, and in my opinion is one of the best linebackers in the country. You're going to have KVA, who is hurt right now, probably won't play in the playoff game, but will definitely be a factor next year. Jaden Osbury. Now you got guys like Madden Frimo, Jalen Sneed. The linebacker room is filthy. So good things on the horizon there. Nate, what's your opinion on the future of the linebacker room? Do you think those guys I mentioned, do you think that potentially next year you could see a Frimo start?
I 100% think I see that happening.
Okay.
I think I unfortunately see Sneed transferring. I could really see that happening just because I think there's more opportunities for him to show his abilities at, a smaller school, because I think Notre Dame's going to be rotating in linebackers a lot, like they are doing this year, except for the one guy that's been in there a lot. But nonetheless, I think Notre Dame's set at linebacker, and I really think it's going to be a strength next year and beyond. And I think, getting these big-time linebackers is huge, not for just now, but for the future, because these guys are going to see, wow, these linebackers are killers.
Mm-hmm.
I want to come to Notre Dame and learn how to be a killer. It's huge for recruiting and just the future of Notre Dame as a whole.
Yeah, no, that's a great take. And I don't know if I necessarily agree with you about Jalen Sneed, but I think it's obviously a possibility because the portal makes things to where maybe you're a rotation guy at Notre Dame, but you could be a starter at, I don't know, Purdue or a starter at Washington State or something like that. So I think it's always possible that guys transfer, but I hope he doesn't, because I think he could be a key rotation piece. But yeah, just a lot of depth coming back at linebacker, a lot of experience now. We come back at linebacker. We're definitely not going to be starting fresh. I mean, after the guys like Jalen Smith and those guys left, we're starting with guys that didn't have a lot of playing time. Now you have guys that are have been getting a lot of reps and a lot of important reps. So Max Bulla has just done an incredible job with the linebackers. I mean, you see him getting those guys fired up. I hope we can hang on to him. Obviously, I hope we can hold on to Coach Golden. That's, in my opinion, him and Freeman, you got to back up the Brinks truck and let them take however much they want. But yeah, Max Bulla would be another one that we want to hang on to because he's done a really great job developing that group of linebackers, especially Drake Bowen. From a guy that played sparingly last year to a guy that, in my opinion, is the leader of the defense, whether you see Jack Kaiser out there more or not. Drake Bowen, in my opinion, is the one. Not only is he directing traffic, putting guys where they need to be, calling out the offenses, but he's also making plays and making tremendous plays and he drops hurting bombs all the time. So,
and I don't want to make any comparisons, but he's seriously like Xavier Watts. He flies around to the ball.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. When there's a ball somewhere, Drake Bowen's around the ball.
Absolutely.
Obviously, there's another linebacker that's not near the ball as much, but Drake Bowen makes these plays happen and has made this defense so elite.
A couple other guys we want to highlight. Well, actually, we're going to highlight most of these guys on here. Another 4-star, Chris Burgess out of Simeon High School in Chicago. He's an edge rusher, 4-star player, number 4 ranked player in the state. So that's huge for Chicago. Dallas Golden, who I am the secondary recruiting, Coach Mickens, Coach Golden, Coach Freeman, the recruiting in that secondary for this class is bonkers. Yeah. And we'll get to that in a minute. But I think some of these guys may even not be playing the defense. They might switch to offense because we obviously need some receivers. But yeah, I'm very excited with that cornerback room. So Dallas Golden, currently listed as a corner, 17th best player in the state, 14th in his position nationally, 114th overall national player, so top 150. James Flanagan, the number 1 player in the state of Wisconsin. He's another one of those legacy kids. Jim Flanagan's son, Jim Flanagan is his dad, the one of the stars of previous Notre Dame teams. So James Flanagan, big tight end, 6'5", 245 pounds. As I mentioned, he's the number 1 player in the state of Wisconsin, number 6 rated tight end overall. Jadon Blair, huge recruit here. He's listed currently as a safety, but we know that he could potentially play receiver as well. 4-star, fifth rated player in the state of North Carolina, 11th safety in the country, another top 150 kid. Mark Zachary, you heard Cameron Herron mention him, that they played against each other. He's also from Indy, Ben Davis High School, another kid in the backyard of Notre Dame. Currently listed as a corner. I'm going to make a prediction right now and say that Mark Zachary is going to end up playing receiver. He made some great plays this year, and I think that he's primed to be on the offensive side of the ball more so than on defense. So excited to see how that goes. Jason Pruitt jumped on some good pickups this year. Yeah, absolutely. We mentioned Jadon Blair, Mark Zachary. Antavius Richardson's a guy that's kind of flown under the radar in this class. He's from Greenville, Georgia, Greenville High School. He's listed as an athlete. I could see him playing offense as well, possibly as a receiver. We'll see. We just talked about Cameron Herron. He's next up on this list. Again, 6th ranked player in the state, 19th interior offensive lineman overall. Owen Strebig from Wisconsin as well. So we had Flanagan, who's the number 1 rated player in Wisconsin. Owen's number 2. So pretty dang good bloodlines there. Anthony Saka, a linebacker coming in from New Jersey. His brother's currently on the team. Dominic Kulak from Illinois. He's a big edge rusher as well. Quarterback depth, Blake Herbert, who I actually really like. He's not somebody that really was on a lot of people's radars at first, but he's a 4-star, 2nd rated player in Vancouver, British Columbia. So, take that for what it's worth. We had another guy from Canada that wasn't too bad. Receiver Chase Claypool. Then you got a guy that I think is going to change or turn a lot of people's heads that some people maybe weren't super in on at first, and that is Plaxico Burris' son, Elijah Burris, the big wide receiver from Wayne, New Jersey, DePaul Catholic. So he's the number 8 player in the state, 4-star, 6 foot, 175 pounds, definitely needs to put on some weight. But he ran track this year, and as we know, guys that run track, they get some of those different techniques on speed and things of that nature, and they're currently moving. So I'm excited that he's really come on strong. He had a great senior year, so really excited for him to come in and potentially compete for some reps at the receiver position this year. Westwind Brewery Company jumping on. Shears, absolutely. Thank you for jumping on, guys. Look forward to working with you this upcoming season. Maddie Augustine, the next one we want to talk about, offensive tackle from Connecticut, number 3 player out of the state of Connecticut. Joseph Reif, another defensive lineman, 6'5", 250 pounds. He's going to get bigger too, and I think faster, and I think he's somebody that could jump off the screen too. One of our favorite guys in this class from right here in our backyard, Brophy Prep High School in Phoenix, Arizona. Cree Thomas, big cornerback recruit. He's underrated. I think he's a guy that can get some reps right away. Let's see, Nolan James Jr. Here's a guy too that at the running back, we lost Justin Thurman, which is unfortunate. But I mean, realistically, running back room loaded, right? You got J Love coming back, Jadarian Price coming back, Jabron Payne unless he transfers, Keldon Young, and now you add Nolan James Jr. to the mix. A fast 5'10", 205, pretty big kid out of New Jersey as well, also out of DePaul Catholic, 14th player in the state, and somebody that I think could really emerge onto the scene. Another Hawaiian connection with Kokuia. He is the 2nd rated player in the state of Hawaii. Big linebacker, 6'3", 220 pounds. So you keep going down to Jerome Bettis Jr., obviously a receiver. Davion Dixon's another defensive lineman. He's going to play inside, I believe, probably at the 3. I would imagine. He's a big kid, 6'3", 305 pounds. He's going to keep improving. I really enjoyed watching his senior highlights this year, so I think he'll be fine as well. And then, we've had a lot of issues the last couple of weeks with our kicking game. You just got a late flip. I think you flipped from where? Oh my gosh, I can't remember where. Iowa. Somebody jump in the chat here. Eric Schmidt out of Marquette University. Oh, he's a transfer. I'm dumb. Anyway, Eric Schmidt. He's an awesome kicker. 6'2", 185. Just a flat out stud and somebody that we really need at this point because our kicking game has just been atrocious. Let's see here. So that pretty much breaks down the recruiting. Again, it's going to be a really strong class. I know people are upset about not getting, some of these 5-star wide receivers and such, but got to remember you're going to have Jordan Faison coming back, Jaden Greathouse coming back, who I think will be even better next year, those two guys. One of the guys that I'm most excited about on this entire team next year is going to get a chance to hopefully compete for a starting job, and that's Cam Williams, Micah Gilbert. It's definitely not a empty closet, and I think you'll see Coach Freeman get pretty active in the portal to try to get a receiver and probably some D-line help. So, Nate, what are your thoughts on the class, and then where do you think we still need to move and get some portal help?
Yeah, I think it was a good class. I think it tailed off towards the end, obviously, but I think that's going to happen a lot. It happens to every team, except for Oregon, who has money that no one knew that they had, probably underground drug money, but
or Nike money.
Either one. But I think Notre Dame really has to improve receiver-wise. I think one of the biggest things Notre Dame lacks is the elite receivers that you see for Alabama, teams like that we could be playing here in the playoffs. So I think if I had any gripes about the class, that would be it. But like you said, we can go to the transfer portal and we can make some moves there. And you've seen Notre Dame be very active in the portal, getting Riley Leonard and some guys like that. The portal is free agency, to put it bluntly. And Notre Dame's got to be active if they want to be players. So, but I believe that they will. And I think receiver won't be an issue if they go to the portal and get some guys.
Yeah, no, a great point. I do really like the fact that we've been active in the portal. Chris Mitchell, Bo Collins, we got those two guys. And I think Bo's been a great receiver. I think he's been a great clubhouse guy for us too, if you will. Did I say Chris Mitchell? No, it's Bo Collins. Chris Mitchell hasn't had the year we had hoped for, but when he's been called upon, he's made plays. So let's hope that maybe in the playoff run here that he's able to stretch the field a little bit if we decide to go that route. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So
also got to give a shout out to Jaden Harrison. He's been really solid this year.
Good call, Jaden Harrison. Jordan Faison's played a lot better the last few weeks, in my opinion. He started off really, really rocky, but he's come on pretty strong. I've been impressed with his game the last few weeks and coming on strong at the right time. Amber Sullivan said we definitely need some kicking game help. Anyone know Justin Yoon still has eligibility? It's funny that you mentioned that, Amber. Actually, first of all, Justin Yoon, one of the coolest dudes you could ever hope to meet. We've been very blessed to be able to get to know him pretty well and his dad. Shout out GSOP. But there was an inner exchange with him and a Notre Dame beat writer. I can't remember which network he was with, but Justin had said something about, man, I wish I could still play, or something along those lines. And the reporter somehow twisted it as if Justin Yoon was clowning or dogging the current special team unit with the school. And whether you want to dog on them or not, I mean, Justin Yoon is definitely not the type of person that would say something like that. If anything, he'd be like, hey, can I help? Can I assist in any way? Whatever the kid, can I talk to these guys? Whatever. But yeah, I've never seen Yoon really super active on social media, and that comment really set him off because it was not something that he even had said, and it was taken way out of context. So good comment, Amber. But yeah, no, kicking's going to have to get better. I really hope that these practices leading up to the playoffs become very special team centric. All right, Nate, speaking of playoffs, I'm going to let you, I know you've been really digging in deep to possible opponents, who we match up well with, who would be challenging, and where we go from here.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody, including the committee, wants Notre Dame to play Alabama. No matter what happens today, I think Notre Dame plays Alabama. Do I want that matchup? I prefer not to, just because I don't think it's the easiest first-round matchup that Notre Dame could have. I've seen a bunch of different teams, a bunch of different predictions. Notre Dame playing Clemson, I don't think that'll happen. Notre Dame and SMU would be interesting. I don't think SMU's defense is very good, but their offense is very dynamic, so that'd be a very fun matchup. But Alabama, I don't know. I'm not scared of them as I would have been, say 2018, 2020. But they're still Alabama. They still have elite receivers. But from what I've seen in Alabama games, Milroe gets very trigger happy. And if you put some pressure on him, he starts to get a little nervous and toss some balls up. And that's what creates turnovers.
Let's see. Pat McCormick, actually first Johnny Sells said, was hoping to get some more size on the D-line. Other than that, this class was pretty good all around. Yeah, I agree. I think the D-line is going to have some guys, like I mentioned, Davion Dixon, Joseph Reif, a couple guys like that. But yeah, no, we're going to have to get some size, some guys that can really plug up the middle. Gabe Rubio's coming back next year. Sean Civillano. Those two guys are both massive beasts. And actually yesterday, Sean Civillano won the Scout Team Defensive Player of the Year at the Echoes Award ceremony at the Irish have. So shout out to our boy Sean. Congrats to that. Ken said I could care less who we play. I guess I would say the same because I really think that we're rocking and rolling. And I think that as stressful as that USC game was for everybody, players, fans, coaches, everybody, I think that it woke this team up and said, hey, we're still going to have to play against the elite athletes when we get into the playoffs. And it was that challenge that they needed. So I was excited to see that. I agree this Indy team can beat Bama, especially with the weather being the way it is. That is going to be a major factor. We have to play in it too, but at the same time, we're more conditioned to that than I think in Alabama would be. And I think it plays to our strength, which is run the ball, and run the ball some more. We received a report that they had a very light practice today and that they took it easy with Howard Cross and Jeremiah Love, but there's a lot of optimism that both will play. I don't think anybody's made it conclusive. They'll probably both be questionable, but I can't imagine with 2 additional weeks to rest, so making it 3 weeks total, that Jeremiah Love wouldn't play in that. Let's see. Juan Pedroza said, who do you think we play? I want Bama. That's from Juan Pedroza on Facebook. Yeah, I would love to play Bama because I think this is finally a time that they won't be able to bully us. They won't be able to out-athlete us. In some cases, maybe Jade Milroy is a handle, like Nate said, or a handful, like Nate said. But I definitely think that we can contain him. I think with the linebackers that we have, I would put Drake Bowen and that entire unit up against just about anybody in the country right now. Same with Adon Schuler and Xavier Watts. I think we're going to be a tough out for anybody. Clemson wins, Bama is gone. That's from Jeff Stribjek. Wayne Smith says, what's up from YouTube. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, so on the playoff point piece, right now ASU is beating Iowa State, so that's going to be interesting. Who knows what can happen. Maybe somehow ASU falls down to us, which would be crazy. ASU, the desert team, going into South Bend in the freezing cold blizzard that'll probably be existing at that point would be kind of funny to see. Jeff says 30-mile-per-hour winds today in Northwest Indiana and wind chill of 15. Give me them Bama prima donnas. Yeah, I would like that too. I think that's going to be a wake-up call for anybody. Amber Sullivan said Indy will host a playoff game. Just wondering if they will be available to the public or just season ticket holders, faculty, and students. So there's going to be like a lottery system from what I understand. Just straight up, I think your best bet is to try to go on some of these various Notre Dame memorabilia, Notre Dame ticket sites, and try to buy from a fan that maybe has extra tickets, because any of these third-party sellers, YouTube, StubHub, SeatGeek, et cetera, they're going to jack up the prices like you can't believe. So I would go that route. Jeff says, I say we do a show tomorrow after the dust settles. Actually, Jeff, I'm going to text you about this. What we would like to do is do a live, maybe 2 minutes before they start announcing the teams, do a live there, kind of start talking about who's in, who's out. And then have the crew, whoever wants to, from Dose Leprechauns, including you, Jeff, jump on and do some evaluations of that team. So we'll have a few evaluations ready. Bama, of course, ASU, SMU, Clemson, whoever it looks like we might play, have that team's breakdown ready, just so we can start to kind of get a jump on what fans should be looking at as we get ready to play those guys on either the 19th or the 20th. Does anybody really think that they're not going to put Notre Dame on primetime on Saturday night? I don't think so.
I disagree. I think they put them on the Friday game.
No way.
First ever playoff game ever. A slate where no one else is on that game or on that day. I just think it's perfect for Notre Dame. I think they play Friday.
We'll agree to disagree on that one, sir.
I hope they don't play Friday, but I mean,
yeah, I'd really hate to take another day off work because I'd have to prepare myself mentally that entire day. ASU just scored again, so they're up 23 to 10, 24 to 10 after the extra point. We're going to get ready to jump off here. We've been off for about 35 minutes, but before we do that, we have an announcement. We became ambassadors recently for this company that we really love, and I'm going to just kind of show you this cool bucket. It's called Smackin' Sunflower Seeds. What is going on here? Why am I going the wrong way? Okay, whatever. There you go. Smackin' Sunflower Seeds. In my opinion, I am a major sunflower seed connoisseur, and not just because we're an ambassador, because we really don't get a whole lot for the sales, but if you use our link, which is on the YouTube comments, but we'll put it in the comments here, we get a little portion of that and you get a discount. But they have flavors. The OG, it's light. They don't have as much sodium as a lot of the other seeds, and they're super hearty, great flavor. My personal favorite is the cinnamon churro. These are the bomb. Yeah, they're dangerous, and they have like I said, they have a really great texture. They're 280 calories per pack, so it's a little bit less than some of the others, but they're awesome. And they also have lemon pepper. There's all kinds of flavors. I just got the ones that I like the best. Cheddar jalapeno, and then if you're a pickle person, these are definitely not my favorite, but dill pickle. So definitely check these out. Wayne says, I love sunflower seeds. The only ones around here are David's. Well, we've got your solution to that. You can order some off of our link, which I'll send you in the chat, and I'll place it on the page as well. So check those out. Smacking sunflower seeds. They are the bomb. And again, some of the proceeds of sales go back to us and helping us continue to improve the show and do more content for you guys. So with that, we're going to head out and talk to you guys tomorrow at the announcement of the playoffs. And then we'll start breaking down who we play and get excited for the first ever home game at South Bend in the playoffs. It's going to be a good time, guys. Stay tight. Thank you guys for the support. Appreciate you guys. We're going to keep the window open for those shirts that we were displaying, the independent champion, conference champion shirts, playoff bounds. We're going to keep that open for about another half hour, and then we got to close it so we can get the orders in on time, so we can get them to you guys a few days before the game, so you can wear them around proudly to all the talking heads that say that we need to join a conference. Oh, sorry about that. So with that, thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Have a blessed day. Go Irish.